pop the popcorn, grab a Coke, and find that old VHS. We're diving deep in cheesy flicks. Yeah, we're on a vintage quest. Low reviews but high on laughs. Let's give these films a cheer. The cult classics, flops, and duds, they're our topics this year. We're the Ejectables, rolling back the years, celebrating movies that no one else cheers. From bad hair juice to epic fails, we say it's all good. We're the Ejectables, yeah, we're misunderstood.
Welcome to the Ejectables. This is the show where movie enthusiasts Bill and Ian join forces with a weekly rotating guest to celebrate movies that we feel have been unjustly panned by the critics or sadly ignored and forgotten by audiences. This week's guest is Jami Philbrick, who is the editor-in-chief of MoviePhone.com. Jami, thank you for joining us.
Thanks, Jamie.
Thanks, Ian. Thanks, Bill. Yeah, great to see you guys.
How do you know Bill?
Bill and I have a mutual friend. Let's give him a shout out. My good friend, Dave Berman.
Woo.
He was my college roommate at Emerson 30 years ago.
Oh my gosh. Bill and I went to Emerson just like 15 years ago, a long time after you went.
Oh, okay.
No, we went before you went. Yeah.
I have no.
Yeah, 32 years instead of 30.
Oh,
yeah.
gotcha.
I do the best Dave impersonation, Jamie. How's
Let's
it
see
going?
it.
How's it going, Jamie? How's your day going? Gonna be on Bill's show. It's pretty exciting.
Is that a good impression, Jamie?
It's pretty good. Can I do mine? I think mine might rival yours a little bit. Hello, Jamie. Hello, Bill. It's so good to see you. So let me explain. I hope Dave doesn't mind it. So Dave was born in Massachusetts, but at a very young age, at like 6, his family moved to Hong Kong, and he did not step foot in America until the first day of college when I met him in 1995.
Oh,
So
wow.
you can kind of imagine that, and I think some of that accent's sort of gone away, but, and I'll tell you another funny story. I don't remember which Shrek movie it was. I think it was probably one of the last Shrek movies. I did like a sort of quote unquote set visit, but since it's an animated film, like I just went to the DreamWorks animation offices in Burbank, and they sort of were showing us all the things, how they put Shrek together. And they gave us an opportunity to record our own dialogue to a Shrek scene. And so I was asked to make up my own Shrek voice. And Bill, I used the Dave Berman voice. And I literally had the directors and the animators going, "That's a great voice. That really fits that so well. How did you come up with that?" So
Does Dave know about that?
yeah, I think he does.
Are you guys, so you're still friends with him? And you're all still friends? Okay.
Of course.
Yeah.
How's it going, Ian?
How do I not know him?
What? He's a great guy.
Great guy,
one
great
of the best
editor.
people at it.
Yeah. Emmy-nominated editor.
Now, I
Big
have to
little
ask
eyes.
you,
Yes.
I want to ask you about Jami. What does an editor-in-chief do at MoviePhone.com?
Oh man, what don't I do for MoviePhone.com? So yeah, basically I run the website, I run the day-to-day operations, have a staff. I do a lot of sort of behind the scenes things, but I'm also sort of the face of the website as well. So I'm out there, doing interviews, writing reviews, attending events. I just came back from CinemaCon a couple of weeks ago in Las Vegas,
Fun.
covering that event. So so there's a lot to it, a lot of, but I mean, listen, I get to watch movies and TV and
It's a
interview
dream.
people, and it's super fun. I love Movie Phone. I love working with them, and it's great company. And a great and a legacy brand. So I remember as a kid actually calling, the phone number. Hello and welcome to Movie Phone.
Yeah.
So obviously we've moved into the digital age, and we're sort of we sell tickets, so we're kind of rivaling Fandango in that way. We're a database, so we're sort of rival IMDb that way. And then, we're sort of like a Deadline, Collider, like hub for movie and TV news.
What is the best film you've seen recently? Sorry, Bill, to cut you off.
If I can answer, I'll tell you my 4 favorite films so far this year.
Please.
The Monkey.
Okay.
And I'm not even a horror fan, but I just think Osgood Perkins, who did Longlegs last year, is just a genius filmmaker. Coincidentally, he's Anthony Perkins' son.
Yeah.
But he, and this is also a Stephen King based thing, but I loved it.
Is it based on Monkey Shines? That's what I don't understand.
No, it's based on one of the short stories.
Okay.
Yeah, that I believe was entitled The Monkey.
And his mom died in one of the 9/11 planes too.
Yes, that is also correct.
So sad.
Yes.
Yeah.
I loved, and we're going to talk about another Steven Soderbergh movie in a minute, but I will say Black Bag is one of the best movies of the year so far.
I agree. It's
great,
so awesome.
Great
I
movie.
haven't seen it. Okay.
He won't like it.
I have to be careful here because the embargo hasn't lifted yet, but I can just say I really enjoyed The Accountant 2.
Oh, wow.
Is it better than the first one?
Yes.
Okay.
And I'll just say less Anna Kendrick and more John Bernthal, and I'm all in. I'm all in for more Johnny Burns. So, and then what's the other movie? I know I said I was going to give you 4. That's only 3. But if
did you see Sinners?
No, I had to miss it. I'm hoping to catch up on that this weekend.
I'm curious about that one.
Yeah.
What's the 4th? Do you know?
Let me check my letterbox real quick, and it'll tell me if you'll give me just a second. Let's see. What was it?
And Bill, what did I cut you off on?
Yeah.
Oh, The Friend with Bill Murray and Naomi Watts.
I want to see that.
Great dog lover. It's great.
I want to see that.
Really good film. And those filmmakers, and I can't remember their names, but they're filmmakers to watch as well. I was really impressed with the writing and the direction of the movie, in addition to the performances.
Great. Can't wait to see that. My wife wants to see it. So we're going to see it. What were you going to say, Bill?
I used to call Movie Phone at Emerson, and we would say, "You have selected, don't, hold on, don't." What was that Wayne's Brother movie that made fun of "Don't drink juice"?
In the hood.
Yeah. It was right. Don't drink juice. Well, yeah, it was a combination of all those different ones.
Rated R. So that's how we spent our time in the 90s.
That's how we had fun at Emerson.
Don't drink juice in the hood while sipping on your thing. Rated R.
Yes.
Now, Jamie, what movie did you pick?
So, since we were just mentioning Steven Soderbergh, I picked my favorite Steven Soderbergh movie ever, The Limey. This is a 1999 release, directed by Steven Soderbergh, starring the great Terrence Stamp, the late great Peter Fonda, Luis Guzman's in it, Barry Newman, Nikki Katt, who we recently unfortunately lost as well, Leslie Ann Warren. It was a movie that sort of, I'll say, kind of like went under the radar a little bit, because I believe that same year he released Out of Sight, and then just a year later was the year of Traffic and Aaron Brockovich. So The Limey kind of got lost in the shuffle. It was sort of coming off of sort of the renaissance of Peter Fonda after his Oscar nomination in '97 for Ulee's Gold. I've always loved Peter Fonda. And Terrence Stamp, of course. Neil before Zod. We love Terrence Stamp. Yes. Luis Guzman, coming off of Boogie Nights and Carlitos Way and some of those films. And Barry Newman, obviously, and Leslie Ann Warren had big careers in the 70s. And what's so great, so it's basically, this is really simple crime, revenge story, LA-based, about a Englishman who's just been released from a long sentence in prison. His daughter was living in Los Angeles, she died in a car accident, but it's sort of suspected her rich record producer, older boyfriend may have been involved. So Terrence Stamp's character, only known as Wilson, and we don't know if that's his first name or his last name, comes to LA and starts stirring stuff up. Yeah, exactly. There he is. Stirring stuff up to get some answers. And what's really interesting about this movie, two things really. If you can find a copy of the DVD, it's got greatest commentary, director commentary of all time. Because it's the director and the screenwriter, and they're just screaming at each other the whole time because
they're bickering so badly.
Really?
Right?
Watch the movie, obviously the script was written linear. The movie unfolds non-linear. And so there are shots from the end of the story in the beginning of the film, and it sort of just cuts and cuts and cuts. And then the other really interesting thing is that Terrence Stamp made a movie in the 60s called Poor Cow. It was a Ken Loach film.
Mm-hmm.
And I still to this day, I'm not quite sure how Soderbergh got the rights, but he used footage from that movie as flashbacks to when the Wilson character was young. And those are cut throughout the film. So it's certainly not a sequel to Poor Cow, but you're seeing footage from that film integrated into this story, and it just works beautifully. And also, 99, we're coming out of the MTV era that I'm sure the three of us all grew up on.
Yeah.
And there are scenes in this movie that are like a music video. In fact, Peter Fonda's introduction into the film is this great sort of montage music video sort of scene. And they actually, at the time, Peter Fonda was part of the American Express. The real Peter Fonda was part of American Express's campaign. And there was a huge billboard on the Beverly Center. And Soderbergh actually shot that because his character is famous within the world of the movie. So it made sense that,
that's cool.
And so they were able to play a lot with like who Peter Fonda really was. And then the movie. And then, of course, Terrence Stamp. And they use a Who song in the beginning of the film. Again, a great kind of montage moment when he's getting off the plane at LAX. And that shot you showed of Terrence Stamp is one of the great scenes in the movie that everyone remembers. Are we allowed to use curse words on this podcast?
Yes, absolutely.
We encourage it.
So he kills a bunch of bad guys that he thinks is going to lead him to Fonda. And he lets one of them go. And he comes out super calm, screaming, "You tell him! Tell him I'm coming! You tell him I'm fucking coming!" And it's so great. And then there's another great monologue that he has at the end of the movie. Towards the end, he comes across an FBI character played by the great Bill Duke,
who's uncredited, right?
He may not be credited in the film. I'd have to look. You're right. But he's got this scene with Bill Duke, and Stamp is just chewing up the scenery. He walks in, "Hello, Gov," and just starts rambling this whole thing. And I love this movie. I love the relationships that he builds with Leslie Ann Warren's character, who was sort of she was an acting teacher and confidant of his deceased daughter, and Luis Guzman plays a friend of the daughter, and they kind of become his friends, sort of navigating this world. And Barry Newman's great in it. He plays Peter Fonda's sort of head henchman. And I love this movie. I don't know why it's not considered one of the great Soderbergh films. I mean, it's certainly one of the great Terrence Stamp performances. I don't know how you guys feel about it. If you'd seen it before you watched it for this, but it holds up. I mean, that's another thing. I was watching it the other day, realizing LA basically still looks like this. The clothing that they're wearing, people still basically dress like that. You could watch this movie and think it was 2005 or 2010. It really holds up. And I would put it up there with, your John Wicks and your, whatever, the great sort of revenge LA crime thrillers.
Do you want to see a clip?
Let's see a clip.
Clip.
Steady on, Fangio.
Man, you steady on, man. What the fuck you do back there? You really didn't tap the guy, did you? Did you?
That would have been too easy.
Too easy.
He's got to know why.
You think a fucking guy like that ever will? Down! Whoa!
Nice. Yeah, it's fun. It is fun. I think it's very understated.
Mhm.
And my favorite of his, which is a film I've done on the show, is called The Underneath, which came a few years earlier than this. And before that, King of the Hill, which I really liked, which I think Bill hates. But once he got to the Oceans movies, I kind of fell off with him. I never really loved another one of his movies. I saw this at the theater. I liked it. I don't love it. I almost felt like he was chopping it up for the sake of chopping it up. And I'm like, because it's a pretty simple, straightforward story. And I think it's nicely stylized. I think it looks great. The acting's great, like you said. But I don't love it. I'm a little lukewarm on it. But I think it's a good choice for this. So I don't.
It definitely grew on me. I don't know if I was as excited about it the first time I saw it. I definitely remember really liking it. I think it's grown on me more over the years. And Soderbergh is very hit or miss for me. I mean, I recognize him as a genius filmmaker and director. But I mean, certainly in recent years. In fact, let me just say, he's released 2 movies so far this year.
Yeah, Presence
Presence, which is sort of a haunted house, an experimental haunted house movie.
Yeah.
And Black Bag, Presence, it was kind of okay. I didn't care for it that much. Black Bag, I loved. So
that's good. I'm glad to hear that.
You look at some of his movies, he certainly isn't batting 1,000 for me, but every 1 out of every 3 or 4 films is pretty damn good.
And he's taking chances. He does something different every time. So give him credit for that. They just don't land for me, but he's not making them for me.
Although I am sick of filmmakers and actors saying I'm retiring and then making 10 more movies. Like, make a decision already. But
right. What'd you think, Bill?
This is the best Soderbergh movie next to the Liberace movie, which was a work of genius, which Richard the Ravenese wrote. I cannot repeat that. If you have the DVD, you have to listen to the commentary of them bickering. It rivals the Val Kilmer documentary, which you can find on YouTube, making fun of David Mamet on the set of Spartan.
That was close. That was almost my pick when Val passed. I was going to ask you if we could switch to Spartan.
I love them.
I'm a huge Spartan fan, but you're right. That's another great commentary. And I would also throw in Ben Affleck's Armageddon commentary.
Yes.
Those are probably the 3 greatest DVD commentaries of all time.
What did Ben Affleck do? What was that one?
He would say things. Oh, sorry, Bill. I was just saying he would say things like, I told Michael Bay, isn't it easier to teach astronauts how to drill rather than teach drillers how to be astronauts? And he told me, shut up.
and then they said they built this thing but couldn't. He's like, they built this thing for 8 months, but couldn't they have trained the astronauts in 8 months on how to use it? Yeah, it's really funny.
Yeah, Ben was using logic, which doesn't always apply to Michael Bay movies.
Not at all. Yeah, especially to that.
This is the best Soderbergh movie. I saw it at the Westwood Theater, the one that's Landmark, that I think it's now all Google offices. Artisan released it. It didn't even make its money back, but it is so good. It's the best Soderbergh movie he's done. And I agree, Black Bag is the best movie I've seen all year.
Wow, I gotta see that. This came out right after Out of Sight, which I loved. Out of Sight.
Yeah.
And and that's very polished, big film. And this is very rough, feels kind of indie. So I think I was just disappointed from my expectations.
Jamie, did you see
Sight for me doesn't completely work.
Oh, wow.
Most people are bigger Out of Sight fans than I am. I think the stuff with J-Lo and George really works once it kind of gets to that final phase with Albert Brooks and Don Cheadle. It just sort of falls apart for me.
I have to see it again. I haven't seen it since then.
Yikes. Fighting words. Jamie, did you see the Alto Nights by any chance?
No, I
heard it's not bad. I heard it's not bad at all.
That's interesting. I haven't really heard too much about it. Let's just say Warner Brothers didn't screen it for critics.
Okay.
That tells you everything you need to know, I think.
Okay.
Yeah, that is a hint.
So, Ian, what was your amazing pick?
I chose Midnight Special, which I know you did not love, Bill, but this is
No,
from
I loved it. What are you talking about?
This is from the director of the movie Loving. He also came out with Bike Riders last year, which I did not love Bike Riders, but this movie was my favorite movie of 2016. And I loved it. I think it kind of harkens back to E.T. and Close Encounters, but it does it. Oh, I'm dinging. Sorry. I'm dinging again, but it does it kind of 2000 style. It's very understated. It starts in the middle of the action, right in the middle of the chase. So we have to figure out, why are they running? What are they running from? And this is a story of this boy who has these special powers, who's being sought by this doomsday cult who sees him as sort of their god. And the U.S. authorities are after him because they see him as a threat to national security. And he's on the run with his, I guess, dad. Not really his dad.
Hey, Ian, do you have a clip?
Oh my God! Yes, we do. Do you want me to play it? I'm gonna go.
Yes, please. I want to watch it again.
Okay. I love this movie. I didn't love it as much this time around, but
You cannot leave the band. You hear me?
I'm sorry.
It's okay. I shouldn't have left you.
No. I'm sorry.
that's such a great sequence there. Now I don't know how you can't like this movie, Bill. What did you think, Jamie?
Yeah.
What did I think of it? I gotta tell you, Ian, I'm a little bit more on Bill's side with this one.
Because he's a brain.
I love I love Jeff Nichols. I actually liked Bike Riders a lot.
You did?
Okay. I did
I was still disappointed with that.
It wasn't a home run, but I thought it was maybe at least a double, if not a triple. This one, again, I would say I didn't dislike this as much as it sounds like Bill did, but certainly didn't love it as much as you. It's a little bit of the Superman story. I get where they're going with that. For me, I get completely confused at the end. I'm like, wait, where's he? I don't want to give away too many spoilers, but like, where's he from? Like, who are they? What's going on here?
I think the problem is that they show too much too, because it brings up more questions than it resolves, which I think is the mistake. That's because of the budget. They're like, we can show all this, so let's show it. And I think that was a mistake.
Michael Shannon is great. I mean, he's a great actor, and he's very strong in this. Joel Egerton as well, Chris Cooper. But for me, it just sort of falls apart towards the end.
I can see why you're saying that. What do you think, Bill?
All right, so
you can be honest.
No, I don't want to be honest. Please go see Loving.
Loving's great. Loving is a beautiful film.
It is a much better movie. I'm not gonna.
Loving is perfect. I agree.
Yes, that movie is a masterpiece. This one's a little flawed. Jamie saying like, "What the hell's happening?" is what I thought from the minute it started. It's kind of all right. I'll just be honest. This and Failure to Launch are two movies that I could just watch the blank screen for 2 hours and I would have had the same reaction. It's
quite an indictment.
I know. Geez.
It's Mac and Me was better. Remember that movie from 1980?
I only know that movie from Paul Rudd's clips on Conan.
Yes. Mac and Me was better. This was like someone saw a really great movie, but the person is a moron, and they're telling you the story of like the really great movie, but they're going back and forth, and there's some dramatic pauses and stuff doesn't make sense and all this stuff.
I think it's all very familiar. Watching it this second time, I was like, wow, it is really just kind of ripping from E.T. and Close Encounters, but just kind of stripping it down.
Yeah, but not a good version of that.
I mean, for me, it was, until I agree with Jamie about the end. It kind of.
I do like seeing Sam Shepard. I miss him.
Yeah, he was great.
I actually think the cult stuff works the best.
Yeah, that was interesting. I wanted more of that.
I wish that was the movie. You know,
I don't disagree with that. Yeah, the cult stuff was sort of the most interesting parts for me. God,
I feel bad, but whatever.
No, I'm going to be honest.
say anything against the young actor. I'm sure he worked very hard on it, but his performance doesn't completely work for me either.
Yeah.
And he's done okay after this. So,
but you can see Jeff's direction. I mean, you can see you can see there's a great movie in him later on, but it wasn't quite here for me.
Maybe I almost feel like he almost had too much money, so he got kind of carried away with some things where it could have used a little more subtlety.
Yeah.
And left a little up to the imagination.
And I think you are a little confused, or at least I was a little confused in the beginning. First time I saw it, of like, wait, who are these guys? Are they really? Is he really his father? Is he not? You know what I mean? There's a lot kind of going on there too.
I liked that about it. I love that I didn't know. I love that we're in the middle of it and we had to kind of figure out as it was going along. But yeah, I understand the criticisms. I get it.
But I wouldn't in no way say it's a bad movie. I mean, for me, it's kind of in the middle. You know what I mean?
Okay, that's fair.
Yeah.
I think there's stuff to appreciate, but I understand.
Absolutely.
Bill, what movie did you do?
I picked one of the greatest comedies of all time called Weekend at Bernie's. Oh, look at that little poster.
Yeah, it's cute.
Not the sequel. The sequel is one of the worst movies ever made. Worse than Midnight Special.
This one.
No. Why don't we just play a clip? Do you have a clip?
I do have a clip. Here we go. This is, I'll preface it with saying this is the only scene I thought was decent.
This is so right. Oh my God, this can't be happening to me.
He's such a jerk to her. But go on.
He's not a jerk. He's trying to cover for a dead body. So it was written, directed by Robert Klein, who wrote the Where's Papa, which is a great movie. And he wrote Thank God It's Friday. And he was one of the writers on National Lampoon's European Vacation. And he directed this movie. He just recently passed away. He was one of the great comedy writers of all time. I think his last movie was a movie called Folks that didn't really work with Tom Selleck and Don Amici. And it's a very dark comedy about two schlubs that get invited to their boss's house in the Hamptons. It's shot in North Carolina. And actually a famous director is that young kid, Jason Weiner? Guy that directs a lot of Human Giant stuff, was the young kid in it. And involves two guys that end up at their boss's house in the Hamptons during weekend. And the boss is embezzling money and wants to kill these two guys. Unbeknownst to the guys, their boss gets killed by a mafioso, and so they have to pretend that their boss is alive so they can get off the Hamptons Island for the next 2 days. Andrew McCarthy talked about it in his book and talked about how it's a charming little movie. I recommend the book and I recommend this movie. Jamie, what do you think?
Sorry, Bill. I hate this movie. I hated it as a kid. I hated it as an adult.
Yes.
I didn't find necrophilia funny when I was a child, even though I didn't know what that was. I certainly don't find necrophilia funny now that I'm an adult. And I also have this whole theory that I won't get into too much, but I have a whole theory about likability is one of the most important things in a movie or a TV show. Mm-hmm. Even if the actor is playing a villain, like, Heath Ledger in The Joker, you like him.
Yeah.
You want to watch him. And I do not like Anthony McCarthy or Andrew McCarthy or
Jonathan Silverman.
Jonathan Silverman's one of the most unlikable people of the last 40 years in entertainment for me. So the two of them
Whoa.
It's just nothing.
This is the only movie I know of his, I think.
There's just nothing to watch for me in this. I will give a little credit, say something nice. The actor playing the corpse
Eric
has
Kaiser.
discussions, like that works, but just the premise alone is maybe the dumbest in movie history. The fact that we got two of them. I'm learning for the first time that it was directed by the writer of Where's Papa. That is heartbreaking because that's a brilliant, brilliant movie.
Yeah, and the guy who directed is Ted Kotcheff, who just passed away, and he did First Blood.
Oh
He-
yeah.
He oscillated between comedy and drama. It's kind of crazy, yeah.
Well, Sylvester Stallone will tell you he directed First Blood, but
No.
he got credit.
and
I understand.
North Dallas 40 he directed.
Yes.
Switching
Yeah,
channels he directed.
unbelievable.
Yeah.
So yeah, just not a fan of it. And I again watching it, giving it a good chance. It didn't grab me. Nothing was funny.
I couldn't agree more. I could not. I was like, okay, I'm gonna get my teen son to watch this. He's into like 90s comedies. And I'm like, oh, maybe he'll make me appreciate it. I hate it so much. This,
Well, you see, Jamie, Ian doesn't have a sense of humor.
but Jamie agrees with me.
Yeah,
but
Jamie has
either
a sense of
when it
humor.
comes to Weekend at Bernie's.
It's ugly. It's smug. He's horrible to that woman, like treats her terribly. And for some reason, she keeps on coming back because it's written that way. I think Jamie and I think differently here. I think it's actually could be.
How is he horrible to that woman? What are you?
He treats her terribly, and she in so
Wait,
many scenes.
He does not treat her terribly.
And they don't get into it until 40 minutes is when like he finally dies, and that's when they try with the movie thinks it's so funny and it's so dumb. The concept I think could be great.
No, you wouldn't like the concept.
Yeah, I'm going to disagree there, Ian. That this concept would never. There's no world where any. If Steven Spielberg had directed Weekend at Bernie's starring, Denzel Washington and Robert De Niro, I'd still think it was terrible.
Well, I'm thinking like if you want to go darker for someone who likes horror movies, myself, if they wanted to like play with rigor mortis and like do more with the dead body out in public, that could have been funny. But instead, they put the dead body in the back of a boat, and then it's jokes about them not knowing how to drive a motorboat.
It's a mainstream comedy involving a dead person.
Got terrible reviews, and it bombed at the theaters. People thought it was funny because it's about a dead guy, but it's not at all funny. And it does a disservice to all the movies that you do love because you say this is one of the greatest comedies of all time.
Yes, it's one of the greatest comedies of all time.
Bill, you had better taste, and this is awful.
Did it have a big HBO life or something? Like, how did it get a sequel if it bombed at the box office?
Home video, right?
Yeah, home video. Yeah,
it was home video.
Watching it. Yeah.
People, they had bad taste at home. Bill, you're nostalgic for it. It's really bad.
I'm not nostalgic for it. I'm not. It's not a derivative of ET that's in a blender that's mashed up with 4 different genres and with long pauses.
I agree that's imperfect, but this is
This is a perfection movie.
The only other part I giggled at was when his feet stuck to the roof in the heat in New York. I'm like, oh, that's a funny sight gag. And then the body washing up in that clip. Those are the only moments I'm like, huh. But otherwise, it's so bad. So bad. Most unlikable character.
We're going to get you on Lexapro so you can laugh again.
But Jamie didn't like it either.
Yeah, but Jamie has great taste, though.
I know he does.
He didn't make me watch Midnight Special.
I could watch this on mushrooms and I still wouldn't like it.
Nah.
Thank you, Jamie. It's so bad, and you have it makes your bad picks look really great. So I appreciate those more now. So, yeah, it makes Greedy look good.
Dude,
Paul Bear looks like
Midnight Special. I could have watched a blank canvas for 2 hours.
I do respect that it's, but this is just so bad. It's so.
I have more money in my wallet than Midnight Special made. It was
true. I just spent a lot of money.
Yeah.
But you're distracting. This is such a bad movie.
All right, we're gonna teach Ian how to laugh.
Okay, I'm laughing.
Yeah, Jamie, did you ever see the movie Greedy?
Is that with Michael J. Fox?
Yeah.
I can't remember it, but a long time ago. And I'll break your heart again, Bill. I remember not liking that either.
Okay.
It's not good, but it's way better than Weekend at Bernie's.
I mean, if I was gonna name some great 80s, 90s comedies, I'm looking at Fletch, Midnight Run. That's sort of more my wheelhouse.
Trains.
And I'll tell you, if we're just talking about funny, Wes Anderson movies makes me laugh. That's my sense of humor.
Yeah, because they're surprising. Yeah, it's not obvious. And
I know my audience now. Wes Anderson's hilarious.
They can be very funny. Okay. There's a lot. Yeah, I'm with you, Jamie.
Wes Anderson makes me laugh. So
I almost walked out of that last one also.
Which one? Asteroid City?
I was like, what is this movie?
So I didn't love Asteroid City. I will say that's one of the more recent ones that I did not care for that much. but a lot of people did not like The French Dispatch. And
I love that.
I haven't
love
seen it.
that movie.
Yeah, the
well,
Benicio
there we
del
can
Toro-
agree, Bill. The French Dispatch.
The Benicio del Toro
genius.
segment was awesome. It was
Yep,
so
I
good.
love the Timothy Chalamet segment. I liked all of. I really liked that movie a lot.
Okay, so skip Weekend at Bernie's and see the French Dispatch.
No,
instead.
I
Yeah.
would say, listen, but Bill recommends Weekend at Bernie's, and listen, I'll say it since we were talking about him earlier. Dave Berman, one of his favorite movies is Freddy Got Fingered. Okay, so there is an audience.
This is not
for
Freddy
these
Got
movies.
Fingered. This is not Freddy Got Fingered.
I would much
man.
rather watch
put
Freddy
them-
Got
I'd
Fingered.
put them on
You
the
would
same
not.
list.
That is the worst movie ever.
I've never seen it. I've never seen it.
I'd put them on the same list.
I don't think Ian would like Midnight Run, by the way. I don't
Oh
think
no, I saw that. That's a good movie. I
No,
did
you
see
would
that.
not like it. You were like, it's so boring. It's 2.5
No, I don't
hours.
think I love long.
Get on with the story. He's going
No,
to
that's
visit his
good.
daughter.
There's good actors in that. That's good. That's
Mm.
smart.
He's got a watch. Really, so predictable.
The watch.
Do I say that?
Is a watch. He's always checking it. Really, dude. I mean, it's so on the nose.
Oh,
Why
Gross
isn't it
Point Blank's
digital?
another comedy I love. A 90s
Which one?
comedy. Gross Point Blank with John Cusack.
Oh yeah, that was good.
Yeah, it's a
Love
great
that
movie.
movie.
That
Yeah.
came out in our college days.
Yeah, it did.
He's a little nutty, the John Cusack.
Is he?
Yeah, he's a little nutty on Twitter.
Mhm.
Mhm.
Now here comes. This is going to be really challenging for Jamie. So at the end of the show, we have to pick one of the movies that's not our own pick that you would pick if you had to choose one of them. So which one do you pick, Bill's or mine?
Sorry.
Yeah, I mean, listen, I gotta go with Ian. I gotta go with Midnight Special. If I was kind of ranking these movies, I'd give Midnight Special probably somewhere in the 6.5, 7 range, and
Out of 100.
out of 10.
That was good.
And Weekend at Bernie's
-1.
Yeah, no. I'd give it 2. I'm kind.
Thank you, Jamie. See, that's a compliment. Okay, I'm gonna pick the Limey.
I'm going to pick the Limey too, without question.
Yeah, what did I win?
You
With
win this. You
Oh,
are
yeah.
the Employee of the Month, Akeem, for
Woo!
outstanding performance on effort.
It's another great 80s comedy.
Yes.
Yeah, congratulations. That's a big deal to win that. Now, I have to say, you can find Midnight Special on Tunes. It's supposed to say iTunes or on Prime. You can find the Limey on Pluto, Prime, and Plex. And you can find Weekend at Bernie's. Don't even bother finding it on AMC Plus. Cancel that subscription. But no, you can't find it.
Can I add that the Limey is actually available for free on YouTube?
Oh, that's great.
Full
And
movie.
good, decent quality.
Oh yeah, like DVD quality.
Oh, that's fantastic.
Yeah.
Okay, cool.
I rented the 4K and it was beautiful.
Yeah.
There's no 4K Weekend at Bernie's.
Oh, they should work on that.
Yeah.
Wait, did they do commentaries when it was released on DVD?
Now it's just like your standard DVD.
Okay.
It's like, hey, with all the great music.
It's so bad.
I know.
Oh, just talking about comedies again. I don't know if you guys realize it's the 30th anniversary of Tommy Boy.
Oh, I love
wow.
Tommy Boy.
And so I recently rewatched that. I spoke to director Peter Siegel for the anniversary, and that movie holds up. I mean,
It does.
Farley's a genius, and I think people forget how good Spade is. He's a
Yeah.
funny straight man. He's really good in it.
Agreed. That's such a sweet movie. I just watched it like
It
3
is.
weeks ago. I love it.
Yeah.
I showed it to my son. He loved
It's
it.
like it's stupid. It's a cross country trek. Who cares that they hit a deer? It's like that deer's so fake.
See, I love that movie, and it's a little dumb, but it's so sweet, and it's got some great.
It
gags.
is a 4-star movie. It's as good as Saving Private Ryan.
Oh, I love it. It's my favorite. I guess my favorite '90s comedy.
Oh yeah,
I think
it's
so.
certainly. I don't know if it's officially considered a Saturday Night Live movie. I guess maybe. I mean, Michael's company produced it, but since they didn't technically play those characters on the show first, I don't know if it's considered. But it's my favorite of the quote unquote Saturday Night Live
Agreed.
movies.
Yeah.
With the exception of maybe Blues Brothers, but again, I don't know if that really counts.
Okay,
or not.
well, Jamie, thank you for
Jamie,
joining
this is
us.
awesome. Thank you so much.
Awesome. Thank you guys.
That was fun. That was really fun.
Awesome.
Come
Great,
back.
thanks.
I
Thanks
will
for fitting this
absolutely
in.
invite me anytime. Thank you so much.
Should we play out the song? Hang around for 1 second.
Yep.
Pop the popcorn, grab a Coke, and find that old VHS. We're diving deep in cheesy flicks. Yeah, we're on a vintage quest. Low reviews but high on laughs. Let's give these films a cheer. The cult classics, flops, and nuts, they're our topics this year. We're the Ejectables, rolling back the years, celebrating movies that no one else cheers. From backhand twos to epic fails, we say it's all good. We're the Ejectables, yeah, we're misunderstood.